you allow your response to come in fruition once you fully listen to them.
Yeah. Instead of thinking of what you're going to say next while they're talking, because you're not really listening to what they have to say, because you're thinking about what you're.
I've never been told that before. That is a first for me. That's interesting. I like that. Welcome to 45 on the Hour podcast. I'm your host, Colt 45, and I'm here with an interesting guest. Okay, this is my boy. I have a lot of respect for this guy. Okay, this guy's come a long way from a history from. He's had everything: setbacks, addiction. He was addicted to crack. Now he follows like a Buddhist path. He's got a whole different history that I want to learn more about. And not to mention, he talks about all kinds of different things on his Instagram, where he talks about healing from within. You know, more meditation wise, and it's just interesting to follow. And he's made me a fan, and now I just want to present what his work is to you guys, because I think you guys could learn a lot from this guy. I want to introduce my boy Chapel. Welcome to the podcast, brother.
Thanks for having me, Cole. Appreciate it.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Yeah, so me and him got a good workout in this morning. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, good workout.
Yeah, we were banging it out with Ghost. Yeah, it was cool, man. We did a little circuit training, and then kind of got into some talking. And it's cool because I like to do that, because if I can get a workout in with somebody, I can really open them up and get them warmed up, you know, and then kind of find out like some things that I want to fine tune with the podcast. So typically, if you guys don't know, when I go into the podcast, I do a lot of research, okay? I talk to the person. I usually want to get to know the person before I ask questions, and then I want to try to find like the main hook of the podcast. So I get into things that I think people would be interested in. So I just go off of what I'd be interested in. And I'm always interested in what's different than me. Like, what am I not doing? I don't want to know the same stuff. I want to be open-minded about things. So Chapel's got a really cool history, and I want to get into that first, bro. And I want to talk about your past and kind of like what led you to become who you are today, bro. You know, like you're a fitness instructor, but you also have all these little cool things that you do, bro. You do stuff with like, you know, sage, and you know, you got this whole Buddhist thing, the necklaces and stuff, and you were talking to me about you know, healing and you know, strength, and I'm like, man, we got to talk about this, because honestly, bro, I've always been curious about the Buddhist structure. You know, I'm a Christian myself, but I like to hear other people's theories on things and like what they believe in and why, and you know, I want to understand those things. So take me back, bro. Take me back. Who is Chapel, bro? Like, how did you start, bro? Like, where do you come from? Tell me how you were raised. Give me a quick rundown up until maybe you hit like those rock bottom.
Okay, all right.
Areas.
Well, first of all, to clarify this, I'm not a genie.
Okay.
I'm human. You're human. We're all the same.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, my past. I'm from the South originally.
Yeah.
Down in Texas, and my uncle lived in Laguna Beach, California.
Okay.
I'd come out here and visit with him in the summers. And that's how the seed of Southern California got planted in my heart.
Nice.
You know, I grew up, I was born in Houston, lived in San Antonio. I've always been, you know, culturally diverse. I've always been attracted to different cultures, whether it be African-American, Mexican-American, you know, Thailand now, many different cultures. I'm attracted to that because I want to absorb as much as I can from other people. And
what do they say? Not to interrupt you. What do they say about attracting yourself to different cultures? And people that travel are more like calm or something, or what do they say about that? They say, like
traveling for me,
you know, checking out different cultures and stuff like that.
If you want to cure, like if you're prejudiced or racist and you want to cure that character defect that you have within yourself, traveling is the best way to cure that, because you see that we're not the only thing that works. Many people have different ways that works, right? But yeah, you know, I would come out here in the summers and visit my uncle, and then at 19, you know, I was into sports a lot, and
How old are you now?
I'm 47.
47.
Yeah, 47. I wanted to play junior college basketball. I loved basketball through high school. And I always ran with I was always the only white dude running around, you know, with the Mexicans and black dudes and stuff like that. And there were times.
So you grew up in like a culturally diverse,
very culturally diverse
area.
Yeah, I mean, white, Mexican, black.
Where was this again?
This is a town called Seguin, Texas. It's right outside of San Antonio.
Oh, very
And I was
interesting.
born in Houston. My mom and I left at a young age because the crime rate was just skyrocketing. She's like, let's get out of here. So we kind of migrated to a town outside of San Antonio. And yeah, I was always into sports, man. I was always into sports. I was always disciplined. I've always been a hands-on learner. And then coming out to California every summer is when I started finding my love for the ocean. And I was like, man, I want to be a surfer. So at 18, I had my heart broken at 18. And I said, you know what? I packed up my clothes in a backpack. I got a job with a door-to-door sales company that was moving out to California. So they hired me. And there was supposed to be an office and all this, pipe dream that they sold me. When I got out here, there was no office. It was a pyramid scheme. I was going door to door all through Southern California. And I slowly migrated to Ventura. And that's how I ended up where I was. But growing up, I was around a lot of drugs, alcohol, whether it's peddling it or selling it, trying to fit in with the in crowd. That's when the addiction started, and I didn't even know it. I was heavily medicating with weed from age 13. Next thing you know, I was dabbling in alcohol, psychedelics, cocaine, and that's where it started, thinking I had it under control. And that led me to, being out here in California. Same thing, I would do it recreationally, thinking I had it under control because I was paying my bills, I was showing up for work, I had relationships, and it slowly progressed into addiction, like a snowball headed for hell. Doing cocaine. Next thing you know, you're smoking it. You're isolating. I never really partied with people. I always isolated, and I wore a mask. I was living this double lifestyle, and it was emotionally exhausting. And 3 rehabs later, a year in sober living, ruining relationships, marriages. I'm a father of 2. I made some really bad decisions as a father when I was young. And today I just, make living amends by
I think
them.
we all have.
Yeah, we all have.
Yeah.
We're human. So yeah, that's what led me to California. And that's what led me to the path that I'm on now.
So you got into drug addiction, and then like what kind of drugs did you experience?
My DOC drug of choice was cocaine and alcohol. Snorting cocaine, drinking to balance it out, to balance the high. And then I discovered crack cocaine.
Shit.
Started cooking it up myself. And I was just living this like self-sabotage life, self-destruction lifestyle, because I didn't love myself. And I was hiding it from everybody. And, I was in the middle of a yoga teacher training. And I went to my yoga instructor. She's a really good friend of mine. And I came clean with her. I said, hey, I need to check myself in rehab. I never got any trouble with the law, thank God. I never hurt anybody else or myself. Well, let me rephrase that. I was hurting myself. I was committing, slow suicide. And I checked myself into a rehab down in Orange County, and this was the 3rd time. But I told my yoga teacher, and she's like, I know. She knew. And yeah, man, I checked myself into rehab, and here we are today.
Dude, that's powerful for you to say. And I don't even know if I could do that, man. I don't know if I could ever get to the point of realizing that I actually had an addiction, to have the balls to go to someone else and say, hey, I have a problem. You know how powerful that is, bro? For you to admit to someone else that you had an issue and then say, hey, I need help. I don't think a lot of people understand how powerful that is. I really don't think they do. Because someone that admits when they have a problem, okay, understands that there needs to be a change, right, within self. And that means that they do care about themselves. So when you take the approach like, hey, I have an issue and I need to better myself and I'm struggling with that, I think that's one of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
You reminded me of something. Our thoughts and our judgments that we have of ourselves, we exist behind that. That's not who we really are. And You reminded me of like, how we're all in this world. We're all sitting around a fire, right? We're all either ashes or we have that fire ignited, within us. And
oh wow, you're talking about the fire, like we are the fire.
Well, we're the people, and the world is the fire, right?
Got it.
And some of us, a lot of us sometimes are in ashes, and it's just about reigniting that fire. And when it's like being at a campfire. You look into the fire and you see those embers, and you're just digging through the ashes. You want to, fan it. You want to blow on it, and next thing you know, it starts to flicker, right? And I think of that as like reigniting the fire, and I've done that so many times, and I will continue to do that. I'll be in the ashes, and then I have to reignite the fire. But finding myself and not listening to my own thoughts and my own judgments, that's helped me. And one of the things that I like to focus on is like, loneliness, doubt, and greed. Loneliness. I'm not alone in this world. There's many people out there that are going through the same things that I am.
Life's a mirror, not a window.
Yeah. And then exactly. And then, doubt. There's no reason for me to question doubt because deep down, I already know. Mm-hmm. And as far as greed is concerned, we already have it all. We don't need greed because whether we know it or not, we have it all.
Dang, that's powerful.
It's just a matter of tapping into that and finding out, who you really are, not standing at the gate, but going inside the inner temple within yourself.
Holy shit, man. I didn't even know that. I like what you said, man. That was, dude, I'm still resonating on that, man. You said we have it all. Just to think about that, it's like we don't need anything.
We don't.
So when you say we have it all, what does that mean to you, bro? That we're alive. Thank God that you're alive. You're a blessing.
We're alive.
You're a star in the sky.
Higher power, God, whoever you look to, if you wake up in the morning, they're not done with you. You got another breath. That's how I look at it.
Dang, that's cool, man. I like that. I believe that.
Yeah.
I do. And you know what? It's crazy because I know that, like, I've talked to a lot of people that are, recovering and they've seen the light and they've changed and whatnot. And the same thing that most people have when they come in here is that they're humble every morning, every day. Like they wake up with the same breath of fresh air, like, wow, it's another day. And they thank God or they thank whatever, and they give the gift of gratitude. And then they say it out loud or they do something that shows whoever their higher being is or higher power that they're thankful for that day. Everyone has the same thing in common. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And because I think that's what keeps us, you want to call it sober, you want to call it clear-minded, you want to call it, hopeful, whatever it is that you believe that you need for the future, you need to have that in you, I think. That thankfulness, that presence of, gratitude, that. And I do that every day. I do that every morning. I have a whole system. I've talked about my system. I wake up. I thank God to be alive. I thank him, for, letting me have the opportunity to take care of my kids again, to be humble, to have another chance, to forgive me of my sins, and hopefully I walk prosperously, give me the strength to walk prosperously, and thankful and help someone today. And then, pray for my enemies. I pray for my enemies, because that's something that I struggle very hard with, the people that just hate on you. Because they hit on what they gave up on, all those things. I pray for those people because I think those people are the ones that need the most help, and that's the reason why I continue to do what I'm doing personally.
Yeah, well, because they're suffering.
I know.
Acknowledging that they're suffering. If I'm at a stoplight and I'm in a Honda Accord, and the guy in the Ferrari pulls up next to me, he's looking at me, I'm looking at him. He could be looking at me, thinking, "Man, I wish I had a Honda Accord," and I'm looking at him, thinking, "Man, I wish I had a Ferrari." We're all a lot more alike than we are different, whether we know it or not. We all have a story.
Yeah, and we admire people on different levels too. You could have 200 followers and I could have 1 million, but we admire certain things about each other. And no matter where you're at in your life, like I can still learn something from you and you can still learn something from me.
Yeah.
Want to get more into like the whole mindset meditation thing. I'm kind of curious on like your whole thing because I've seen you on your channel and kind of like what you do. And most fitness guys, they talk about fitness and this is how you lose weight and this is what I do to work out and this is how I lose weight, whatever, which is all great. But you have a little bit different of approach, bro. You get in there and you're like doing stuff at the beach. You're like, have a fire and you're talking about how certain things heal you, and you're talking about, I don't even know if you talked about stones one time or something like that, or
No.
I don't even know. Like, it was just like different things, you know? And then you got your whole Buddhist approach and things like that. And you talk about, and I just remember there's like a bunch of different things that you did. You want to walk me through that. Like, what is your whole meaning behind that? Like, what do you think about that approach, to healing and stuff like that? Because a lot of people on the podcast are trying to heal, that are listening to it, and they're trying to heal, and they're trying to heal themselves. And, they like, not everything works for the same person, over and over again. Like, sometimes you need to try something new, and I'm always up for like new stuff, and kind of want to know what you think about that.
Yeah. Where it all started for me, down that journey, was yoga. I got into yoga about 6-7 years ago, and I just started doing yoga because I wanted to stretch. I was like, ugh, I wanted to stretch. And then I started feeling different, not only physically, but I started feeling different mentally.
Really?
And I started.
Why?
I started loving myself. I started finding out.
But why? Was it the calmness of it?
It was the breathing. It was the breathing.
Okay.
And
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it was the breathing, and it was the honoring my body. Not trying to focus on the person that's on their yoga mat next to me and looking at them. Well, that guy can touch his toes, but I can't. I'm comparing myself already. I learned that this is my practice, right? And they don't call yoga a practice. They don't call it yoga perfect. They call it yoga practice, because you're always practicing.
Uh-huh.
And, being on your mat, that's just a drop in the bucket. But yoga really is just to prepare your body and your mind to meditate and to be with yourself. So for me, that's when the path started. Breathing, connecting with my breath. And then I go, you know what? I'm going to do a teacher training. So I did a 200-hour hatha yoga teacher training, not to teach. I wanted to dive deeper in the practice. And that's when I started learning about the, many limbs of yoga. And that's when the seed was planted for me to start traveling. And here I am now, living in 2 countries. Live in Thailand. I live here in USA. I've been all throughout India, but
so your main focus is like yoga. You like a lot of yoga.
I like yoga, but I do lift. I do
right.
More
That's what I was going to get into next, because so you got like this yoga thing, and I don't even know what to call it, because you do so many different things. You do like stretching stuff, and you do like breathing stuff on your channel, which is interesting because I took it up on myself. I was like, all right, I'm going to try that.
I switch it up. I like to switch it up. I like that. To one.
Yeah, and it's kind of like how for me, like I talk about business. That's like my jam.
Right.
Businesses, starting businesses, maintaining businesses. But then I also talk about the fitness thing, because they kind of have a direct correlation, such as yoga does to fitness. So I want to talk more about that, like your fitness journey, like or what's your thing with fitness? Is it more like just maintain the body? Is that like your approach, or is it like, because you can obviously help someone with anything?
Maintain the body, maintain a healthy physique through real food, ancestral food, primal food, food with legs, food that comes from the earth.
I know. I noticed that you were talking about a lot of that. It's cool because you always show like your food and like sometimes like what you're eating and stuff, and it's always like a little bit different than like what I eat,
Yeah.
And you'll be like, okay, put this in here or whatever, and stuff like that. And it's interesting.
Yeah, I mix it up. And to answer your question about like, the breathing and the yoga and all that, I connect with my breath. I connect with myself. And some days I might, for example, if I'm reading something, I might be thinking about what I'm having for dinner, or, I got to put gas in my car or something. And I might have to reread what I just read, so I veer off. But if I close my eyes and if I just quiet my mind and just connect with my breath, because there's no right or wrong way to meditate. There's walking meditation. There's laying down on your yoga mat. There's getting on a meditation app. There's connecting yourself with nature, like going on a hike. There's sitting cross-legged. There's so many different forms of meditation. I mean, even for me, driving is medicinal. You know what I mean? I'm focusing. I have no music on.
I got a question, because I've always been curious about meditation, because I heard it's like one of the greatest things. If you can get your mind to a state where you block out everything, and I have had to learn to. I've had to learn to like block things out, in my mind when I start thinking, because I get anxious, and I get anxiety and stuff, and I'm prone to that. So I've had to learn like little tricks and tools, right? Which it's actually helped me when I start thinking about something. and I start getting pulled to the negative, I just think about a positive, and then I almost can put like a stop sign or a roadblock up. I don't know if that's a part of meditation or something maybe I've been practicing with, because it feels like it helps. But like, how does someone get into like a meditative state? Like, because I feel like I've tried it before and I just can't get to the point of like blocking everything out. I always have like, because if you sit with yourself long enough, quiet, you start having a conversation with yourself.
You have your ego taps you on the shoulder.
Mm.
Your ego's not
That's
your,
what that is.
Yeah, your ego's not your amigo.
Your ego's not your amigo.
Right.
Okay. I know ego stands for what? Exiting God out or something, you know, or whatever. I mean, everyone has their own little acronyms for it.
Yeah.
But I've talked about that before too as well. An ego can either be what? Can it be your best friend, or is it always an enemy?
It can be your friend. It can be both. It can be your enemy and your friend.
Because it can be something that humbles you, correct?
Right.
So then meditation kind of like brings you back down to earth. It allows your mind to like kind of cool off. And guys like us, like I could tell you're like the same kind of guy as me. Like I have ADHD like crazy. And I'm pretty sure you have something similar.
I do.
Right, yeah. And so like, but we've learned to maintain that. And I think it's actually a tool. I see it as a strength, not a crutch. You know,
I think I don't like the label. I don't like the your children. Your
I think
child
it's a gift,
has
man.
ADHD. No, your child's a child. He likes to play outside. He's curious. He's acknowledging things instead of questioning things. He wants to learn. He or she. But as far as like the meditation, what works for me, how I like to do it.
Can you get into a state to where you don't think anything or whatever?
I can, but then there's times where every day is different. But how I like to do it is it's simple.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
I close my eyes, right?
Okay,
and I repeat this to myself. I quiet the mind.
I'm closing my eyes too.
Quiet the mind.
Okay.
Open the heart. Quiet the mind. Open the heart. And I say that, I keep repeating that to myself. And then what happens
Quiet
is
the mind, open the heart. Okay.
the expansion of love within myself, it starts to expand. And I start to love things, like a flower, a tree, a cat, a person. I start loving people and acknowledging that maybe they're just suffering.
You're telling yourself this.
Yeah, I'm telling myself this. And I expand my heart.
While you're just like sitting there and
sitting there, laying there, walking on the beach, going on a hike. I try to shut everything down, quiet my mind, and just open my heart.
So when you're meditating, you're walking sometimes?
Sometimes on the beach, yeah.
Really?
It's called walking meditation.
That's the first.
And you can
I always think meditation, you're just like, with your hands out and your legs crossed or something.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people think. A lot of these, meditation apps, I like to use Insight Timer, here and there. It just depends on how I feel. It just depends on how I feel about that day. What do I need to focus on? I have a prayer that I wrote when I was living in sober living, kind of my own verbal prayer that's underneath my altar that I read to myself every morning. And every day is different. But as long as I work on myself right when I get out of the bed, instead of grabbing the device, right, taking care of myself, connecting with my breath, it's a game changer throughout the day, because I don't know what energy the world demands from me that day.
I like that. And I do something similar. It feels weird because you want to grab the device, right? You want to do things. Even before bed, I have a whole ritual with like my Bible where I read, like a passage, and I go through like a passage and I try to understand something, because it's sometimes hard to understand when you're reading it. And then I'll kiss it, and then, I mess with my crosses, and then I bow my head on it and just like put my face on it, and then I go to bed. And I have like this whole ritual that I do, for me, just as like something that just humbles me, you know what I mean, before bed. And if I don't do that, I feel off, and I don't know if it's like a thing. I used to have this thing back in the day where I used to want to touch things like multiple times, like it had to be an even number, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that it was like a trauma response. Something in the past. It's almost like a security to know that it's there. So I'd do it like twice, and then I'd have to come back and touch it twice. And I looked into that, and a lot of things point to like trauma responses and things like that. So I have the same thing, but I put it towards like a good vice, something that can help me. So it's almost like I humble myself before bed, like make sure that I understand that I'm blessed to be here, and I'm blessed to have like a second chance, And so it's like, hey, today is the end of the day. You said your prayers, whatever you did today, your sins are forgiven. Go to bed with an easy mind. And I literally 99% of the time sleep throughout the night. I don't wake up with crazy dreams anymore like I used to. And I sleep throughout the night. And I know a lot of people talk about this, and I wanted your opinion on this, when they have sleeping issues. A lot of people have sleeping issues, man. And it's like a common thing where they can't fall asleep because their mind races. And I think that's interesting to talk about because I know how important meditation is to the mind. I've never been good at it enough, but maybe you could lead something, bro, and we could talk about that. We could talk about leading like a seminar or something. That'd be so cool, bro, to get a workout in and then a meditation right after. Dude, that would be huge, man. No one's ever done that before, I don't think, man. It's usually you meet up for a meditation, you know. What if you got a cool workout in and then as you want to calm the mind, you just did a quick meditation, you know, for like 20 minutes or something.
Absolutely.
Outside or by the pool or something, maybe at Gold's Gym, bro, or something, you know. Yeah. That'd be so cool. I want your input on that. Like, how does someone that struggles with their mind and racing thoughts get some sleep, bro? Because I know a lot of people, bro, that would love to hear your take on that, bro.
Well, one of the things that I do, and I can't stress this enough, is, first of all, when I wake up, the first 90 minutes of my day, I put no caffeine in my body. Okay? I wait till after 90 minutes. And then I have...
Why?
Because what that does, it maintains your cortisol level. Okay? Try to get natural sunlight. Don't drink caffeine the first 90 minutes of your day. And then when noon comes, don't drink any caffeine. Because for me, I'm already hyperactive as it is. If I drink caffeine within the first 90 minutes of my day and then afternoon, I'm screwed. I'm going to be tossing and turning all night. So I just keep it minimal with the caffeine. And I exert myself, exercise, connecting with my breath, especially right before
first 90 minutes in the morning. Okay.
Yeah. There's a practice that you can YouTube also. It's called Yoga Nidra, where you're laying down and it's a guided meditation, right? And it's basically like clockwork through your body, all your points in your body, fingertips, you go this thumb, that thumb, you know, and it guides you into a relaxation to where you can sleep better. It's called Yoga Nidra, and that helps a lot too.
Okay, that's very interesting. So let's get back to sleep. How do you get to sleep through yoga? Like, does yoga help you with getting to sleep? Can you do that like before bed? Like, what if you're struggling to get to bed and you're like one of those people that just your mind doesn't shut off and you're like, oh, I got to go get medicine. Like, do you believe in that? Do you believe in like Western medicine?
I'm not a big fan of Western medicine.
Okay, neither am I.
For sleep,
I know that it's needed sometimes.
It is needed.
You know, like some people get to that point, but maybe you use it as like a crutch for a second till you can get the help you need. Right?
Yeah.
That's not like a long-term thing.
Yeah.
Because I did take a lot of Western medicine. You know, I was addicted to painkillers for years, and I struggled with it, deeply. Anyways, so yeah, continue.
But before sleep, maybe try this. I mean, this is what I do. Sit down or lay down, close your eyes, and just connect with your breath. And what I like to do is I like to breathe in. I like to inhale 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold my breath for 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out like I'm blowing through a straw. 8 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And I do that repetitively. And what that does, that just calms my nervous system.
Is it like 7? They say it's like 7 minutes, right, for an emotion to pass?
Yeah.
Right? So if you're having an emotional outbreak right before bed or your thoughts are racing because you're worried about something that hasn't happened yet, right? I always tell people don't worry twice, right? But, some people just can't avoid it. It's on their mind. So if you're in that moment, you're saying go through breath work, okay, right? I've also heard something to where, like, when you lay down, you start with your feet and you put your toes to sleep, then you put your feet to sleep, you put your ankles and your calves and your knees and all the way up to your body, to the top of your head.
Yoga Nidra.
That's Yoga Nidra.
That's Yoga Nidra.
Okay, very interesting.
In your words.
And, bro, I don't know what that does.
It works, man.
But it freaking works, bro.
I mean,
it works.
You'll be falling
Have you ever tried that,
asleep.
Ghost?
No.
Dude, it's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're like laying there, just literally just lay there like on your side, and like just like you're saying, bro. I lay there. And this is rare, but sometimes I'm not, I feel a little anxious or it's I don't know, I just feel out of place for the evening, or something, or something's really bothering me and I'll just lay there, and I'll just like look up at, the ceiling, and then I'll close my eyes and I just start breathing. I'll breathe for like a minute, in and out like you're saying. And then I start with my feet, ankle, all the way up. And I try to limit it to where like I remember every single body part. Literally start with like my toenails. Toenails, go to sleep. Big toe, go to sleep. Like all the way down.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And I try to get all the way up. And then I'm at my waist, and then I'm at my stomach, and then my chest, and then my neck, and then my ears. And I can literally just feel myself fading away,
Yeah.
And that is the best sleep.
I love that feeling.
Yeah, I can't fall asleep on my back, though, because then I have nightmares. But sometimes that is like the best sleep I've ever had. I could recall like numerous times where I've had to do that and it works. So that's Yoga Nidra. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
One of the things that especially today, that sometimes I have a hard time going to sleep, it's because I'm so excited to get up the next day and live life again. It's like I can't wait to get up, as opposed to I got to get up. Well, at least I can get up.
I get to.
Yeah, I get to get up.
Right?
I get to get up.
And it's funny you say that because Dana White had said something a long time ago, and I totally resonate with it. He said, create the life that you can't go to sleep for. Yeah. Like you hate going to fucking sleep. And I was like, dude, and I remember at the point that he said that, I remember I was in a bad space. And I used to always think that all this stuff was bullshit. I like self-help, bullshit. Like that is all stupid, man. It's like, whatever, just make money. And, it's like, none of that stuff matters. It doesn't matter with the right mindset. Like if you can't find happiness within yourself, there's nothing. There's no amount of money. There's no amount of lifestyle that's going to change that. Some of the richest people I know are unhappy and married. Yeah. But if you have the right partner, you're in the right setting, you literally want to be there every day. Fuck, man, that is fire, dude. And I get motivated just talking about it, bro. Like the way that was presented to me, I remember when he said that, he said, dude, he's like, how much sleep do you get? This guy asked him. He's like, Dana White, how much sleep do you get? He's like, I'm lucky to get 4 hours.
Oh,
He's
saw
like,
that.
oh, man. Yeah. He's like, you must be fucking tired. He's like, fuck, tired? He's like, dude, I wish I could get less, man, but my body just can't function. Dude, I'm so fucking excited. I can't even fall asleep in the morning or at night. He's like, dude, I literally cannot fall asleep. He's like, why? He's like, I'm just so fucking excited about my life, bro. Like the shit I have going on, like the next day, like I have so much cool shit going on, bro. I don't want to miss a moment of it, bro. He's like, I don't even want to, and like that got me so hype. And I was like, dude, I want that life.
Yeah, it's such a quality problem, right?
It is a quality problem. It's like, fuck, man, to wake up every day being excited about what I'm doing all day long, dude. It's like shit every day, And I can safely say that at my life right now, I'm in that realm. I'm happy with everything that I got going on in my life. I wish I could repair some of the past stuff I've done, because that past stuff kind of like follows you. But you got to be a man and you got to act towards it. But you act towards it in a different way where you're always trying to help the problem. You're trying to find a solution, I think a lot of people still struggle with that. People struggle with their past, and they keep bringing it into the future. And it's in the past. It's in the rear view, And I always tell people, if it's in the rear view, don't forget about it, right? But forgive yourself that it happened and forgive the others that it happened too, right? And we get into healing, and I talk about, going into the past and trying to change the emotions and stuff. I want to know your cure. All
our healing begins in the privacy of our own heart, right?
Okay, let's talk more about that because that's interesting.
So the privacy of your own heart, how I like to look at it, we all know who we really are inside. Like you can sit there and ignore it, but deep down we really know who we really are. It's just a matter of tapping into that.
And if you know who you fucking really are and you're not speaking that and you're not being authentic enough, you're never going to find your people, right? And we know who our people are, bro. We run into people that were like, oh, yeah, it's great. I want to get to know you, but it's just not the right person for me to be around. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got a little negative. You got some work to do. But this person I'm completely attracted to. I don't mean in like a physical way. I'm just saying I'm attracted to your energy. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important because the more that you pay attention to that, the more that you attract those people. And those people have to be involved in your life to elevate you, right? People that are at the start of their journey but relate to you on the same lines, and people that are above your journey that relate to you on the same line.
Yeah, there's been times in my life where I don't even know what a healthy boundary is because I'm in that people-pleasing role.
Yeah.
But now I have these healthy boundaries. I'm like, that's not working for me. So I'm going to make a decision to not put myself around that.
Correct. What role does all this play in your fitness and recovering and personal transformation for your business? Curious about that.
Minimal progress. Like
you
I'm
don't
okay.
rush anyone.
No, and I'm okay with minimal progress because results don't happen from the gym or from yoga or for exercising. It doesn't happen overnight. We all know that. It takes discipline, it takes dedication, but if you keep showing up and you keep eating right and you keep moving your body, you're going to start seeing results. And when you start seeing results, like we were talking about that ember in those ashes, it starts to flicker, that flame, right?
Well, what do you think about? Yeah, no, I totally agree. What do you think about discipline? So like you say discipline's healing, right? But can you break that down for some of the people who only associate discipline with punishment?
That's a good question. Discipline.
Told you I had some bangers for you.
Yeah. So discipline and punishment. Like discipline is you're basically creating the best version of yourself, right? You're getting up early. Okay, man, I overcame that obstacle. I didn't press snooze. I got up. I walked through the gym door. Okay, now I don't feel like working out. You push through your workout, and then you feel amazing. And you're reminded that the next day when you're having that similar issue, you're like, oh yeah, wait, yesterday I felt amazing after yoga or after a walk or after the gym. I'm going to do it again. That's discipline, because you're starting to have a consistent schedule of making yourself feel good, making yourself look good. Internal and external.
You're doing the shit you don't want to do, but you're doing it like you love it.
Exactly.
Right? That's what discipline is.
Because there's days where I do not want to go to yoga. I do not want to go to the gym. But I know when I leave, I'm going to feel good. There hasn't been one time where I've left the gym and I felt like shit, excuse my language, or go to the yoga studio and left. It's like, man, I really feel like shit for exercising or moving my body. It never happens.
Dude, so I'm curious, man. What do you think about, you obviously think that the mindset is the first battlefield, correct?
Absolutely.
So if someone's like, hey, bro, I want to get ripped, bro, but, I just got off crack. What are you going to say?
I'm going to say you need to check yourself into rehab, get some help.
Okay.
Start the foundation there.
Then they come back to you and they're like, hey, bro, I did some work on myself. I'm here. What's the first thing you have them do?
First thing I will have them do is ask them how serious they are and what their goals are.
Okay. And if they're like, I'm serious, I'm willing to do whatever you say.
If they ask me to do whatever, so you're saying
but they want to work on themselves, like physically. All they can think about is the physical.
The physical?
Yeah, that's it. And they're like, I just want to lose weight. I'm ready to go.
Well, then I'll dial them in. I'll say, okay, you're going to eat XYZ. You're going to do exercise XYZ. This is how many days we're going to do it. We're going to monitor your food. You're going to show me pictures of everything that you're eating. And I'm going to gauge it on what their present lifestyle is.
There you go. And you're also going to talk to them about their mindset.
Correct.
Because that's important, right?
Absolutely.
I think it's more important than
that goes
workout itself.
It's not just diet and exercise. It's everything. It's screen detox before bed, right? Putting your phone down, not picking your phone up right when you wake up in the morning.
Having the power of choice, right?
Yeah, power of choice. Getting natural sunlight.
Isn't that weird? How important that is. Like if you actually tell yourself, if you want to do something so bad, you're like, oh, I got to do this. And then you go, nope, you're not doing it. And you get past that urge just for a moment. And then you get on the other side of the fence. You feel different. You're like, holy shit, I got past that. And I'm not doing that bad shit that I used to do. Yeah. I'm actually doing something that's better for me. How does that feel for you? It gets easier, right? The more you practice it.
It gets easier. Yeah.
Right.
It gets
like giving up addiction, right?
And that's the worst. I remember coming out of my addiction and getting back into fitness. I've always been into fitness and nutrition. But man, that first day, that first gym session or that first yoga session, it's brutal. But then you're like, man, that felt so amazing. Then you do it again the next day. Then you do it again the next day. And it just gets easier and easier. Then you plateau, right? Because we all plateau. And then you hit that funk where you're just like, man, I don't feel like doing anything. It's funny. 2 weeks ago, I was laying on the couch and I have no idea where it came from left field. Because I preach, real food, nothing processed. And I'm like, man, a pint of Ben & Jerry's would sound so good right now. Next thing you know, I'm in my car. I'm driving home. I have a quart of milk and cookies, Ben & Jerry's. I mobbed the whole thing. And it was good. And that's okay. I accepted that. I'm like, you know what? This is okay, right? It's not every day. But sometimes that's where we go. It's better than Ben & Jerry's than crack cocaine, right?
Totally. 100%. I like that, man. That's interesting. What do you think the message is for people listening right now that feel stuck in pain, addiction, or shame?
My message to you is, most importantly, you're not alone.
There you go.
There's billions of people in this world. There's a guy with the same exact problems as you have. You're working the long hours. You're not communicating with your beloved, your wife, your partner, whoever, relationships in your life have gone to shit. You're not answering the phone. You're coming up with excuses. Reach out. Pick the phone up, call somebody. There's so many avenues towards addiction. You have 12-step programs. You have people, just call somebody. You can even go to a church and just talk to a pastor. There's so much help out there, and just to be listened to. A lot of times when we're listening to people, but we're thinking in our mind of what we're going to say next, we're silently interrupting them because we're not listening to what they have to say. So I always try to listen.
Cool. I never knew that.
I try to listen to what people have to say. People want to be heard.
Before saying what you want to say, you're just like, you block that out and you just kind of take it and go, okay, let me think of a response now. So you allow your response to come in fruition once you fully listen to them.
Yeah. Instead of thinking of what you're going to say next while they're talking, because you're not really listening to what they have to say, because you're thinking about what you're going to say.
I've never been told that before. That is a first for me. That's interesting. I like that.
But yeah, to be heard. That's the main important message I have for whether you're a man, you're a woman. Pick up the phone, and you might find somebody that doesn't want to listen, but you're going to find somebody that will listen.
Or better yet, find someone that's been through the same shit that you're going through right now and ask them how they healed and how it worked for them.
Exactly.
So if someone's healing from addiction or crack cocaine, they're like, oh, Chapel relates to me. Hit up Chapel.
Yeah.
Hey, man, how'd you do this? Get you on my program. I'll tell you. I'll walk you through it. Right?
Right.
There you go. We got to close out here, but I wanted to go over one more thing. What's the biggest lie people believe about healing or changing their life, bro? And if someone's listening right now, ready to change, what's step one, bro?
The biggest lie that people believe?
Like, people are told to heal, they have to go see a psychiatrist, or changing their life, you got to do something new. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people are told the same shit over and over again.
Right.
But that's monotony. And it's the same thing, and it doesn't work for everybody. I say, if you want to heal your life and you want to change your life, the best thing to do is be open to change first, and being open to other people's blueprints, let's just say.
Yeah, be open to
everything.
To everything.
Because not like something that I might be able to provide doesn't work for you, but then something Chapel might be able to provide might work for you. Yeah. Or vice versa, or a little bit of both. Yeah. But true healing comes from investing.
Right.
That's what I believe.
I've been down that path, actually. I had a therapist that I was seeing for about 13 years. Then she referred me to a psychiatrist. Went to a psychiatrist. They prescribed me with, I forget the name of the drug, lamotrigine, right? And it was antidepressant, but I started not feeling right. Like, this isn't working. And then I went back to what I know works, and that's exercise, proper nutrition.
Okay. I like that. I guess in the end, in the grand scheme of things, I always believe this. Keep trying to be around people that you don't understand. Don't be fearful of something that you don't understand. So for me, I would maybe in the past not want to talk to someone that was in a different religion because it might be biased to what I believe, or I might feel like, oh, that might scare me a little bit because it's different, and I have nothing to do with that because this is how I was raised. It's like, no, don't think like that. What you need to do is be open to everything. Okay?
Be open that everybody has a message.
Correct. So everyone has a message to deliver, and you can learn something from everyone. Any background, any relationship. I don't care if you were a police officer and there was a junkie, or you were a former, prison person and now you're a correctional officer, or, you're a Buddhist and you're a Christian, or you're an atheist and you're a, freaking, I don't know, Mormon or something, or religions or backgrounds, or you're black and I'm white, or you were born in the ghetto and I was born, in a religious family. All those things, you have so much to gain from learning from someone else's background and history, which can humble you.
Right.
And I think that's where we need to learn the most from, is trying to be humble every day. Seek adversity daily. And I preach that all the time. I'm always trying to put something hard in my favor. Okay, and saying, okay, this is hard. I get to accomplish it today. I get to do this. I get to fucking get up in the morning. I get to go to the gym. I get to fucking grind. I get to fucking come meet people. I get to fucking put in the work. I get to come spend time with my kid and then make her dinner. All those tasks, lead up to an ultimate win at the end of the night. And that fights depression daily.
Absolutely.
You agree?
I agree. 100%.
I love it, bro. Huge podcast, bro. That was some huge shit, dude. I want to get you on again, bro, because I feel like you have so much more to learn. Or we have so much more to learn from you. And I think you can come up with some better stuff, dude. Better than even like you have right now. I bet you there's so much more you can deliver. And I think we're just touching the surface right now.
Scratching the surface, yeah.
Scratching the surface, whatever.
There's a lot. This is my second podcast, and I appreciate you having me.
Dude, you're huge, man. And it was funny. We were talking about how, you're coming here like, I hope it goes well. I'm like, dude, you freaking speak well just off the... Dude, you're huge, man. You already got it, bro. You got it, bro. I'm a fan, bro. I'm a Chapel fan, bro. Bro, you gave me some stuff. I wanted to go over it, just show the podcast. He gave me a little Buddhist... I don't even what do you want to call this?
Amulet.
Amulet? Yeah. There you go. Okay. This is interesting because I want you to tell what this is about real quick before we check out.
So that's the big Buddha. That was gifted to me by my father-in-law. I have a bunch at home. And it's, many Thai women and men, they wear amulets around their neck for protection, prosperity, good luck. And you'll be often gifted one. And my wife was telling me, be careful who you gift those to. Gift it to somebody who's going to cherish it. And this morning when I woke up, I was like, you know what? I'm going to gift Cole one of my Buddhas.
Dude, that's huge,
man.
Yeah,
so that's my gift to you, man.
I take so much pride in this, bro, and I really appreciate this, man. I'm going to keep this.
Right on, brother.
So, so this is like you have to give it as a gift to someone that you think will appreciate it.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah. It's just.
And this is from Thailand?
That's from Thailand. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Looks like it too, like the wrapper. And
yeah,
stuff.
It's a real one.
And then you gave my daughter a little purse, which is kind of cool. She's gonna dig this. My little 10-year-old.
Yeah, when I was living in India, I was living in a town called Kashmir. That's where they. This is before I went up to the Himalayas. I was staying in these grass huts with these gypsies. But
this is so cool.
They make all the cashmere from Kashmir.
Yeah.
And I've had that for a while. I come back when I come back from overseas. I always have a bunch of things, and I don't know who I'm gifting them to. It's just a matter of like when I cross paths with a person, I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to gift them this. So
I'm the same.
That's
way,
actually
man.
been in my drawer, man, for like almost a year and a half.
This is cool, man.
Yeah.
Dude, my daughter's gonna dig this, bro. She likes little purses and stuff.
That's cool, man.
And I'll make her do a little video for you and stuff. Other than that, guys, I think that's it, man. We're gonna wrap it up. It's been a pleasure having you, bro. I've learned a lot, bro, and I hope that our viewers learned a lot. Guys, if you guys want to follow Chapel, what's your tag on Instagram?
Chap West Fit.
Chap West Fit.
Chapel West Fit.
Chapel West Fit. You want to spell it for everybody?
CHAPELWESTFIT. Chapel West Fit.
There you go. This man, you guys got to follow him, okay? He's got some cool stuff. He does fitness too. He's got a different outlook on fitness, and I think it's important to follow. Just to everyone that you could try to relate to, or something that you want to learn that's new, and I think it's interesting. So thank you for thanks for coming, bro. It's been a pleasure, bro.
Yeah,
thanks
an awesome
for having
podcast.
me, guys. Up until next time, get up, get after it, and get.
Bitch, don't get too comfortable. Better not get too comfortable. Better not get too comfortable. Yeah.